Slay misses another practice because of his knee. All I gotta say is this. If there was ever a week to keep him out, it's this week versus Zach Wilson and the Stinky Jets. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, I can't think back here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So Darius Slay is missing practice again because of a knee. Should we be concerned? I think not. If it's me, I would keep Darius Slay out versus the Jets. If there's any time to do it, it is versus the Jets because it would be reprehensible. It would be very disappointing. It would be very hard to take or fathom if the Eagles were to lose to the New York Jets this weekend. They need Darius Slay healthy for the following week versus the Miami Dolphins. I know what you're saying. Don't overlook the Jets. I'm not. I'm just saying Darius Slay needs to be healthy. Now, we're going to talk about it in a second and so much more. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, the guy with the most cats, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And yes, I am married to Catwoman. This is true. Now, before we get started, I gotta put the cross. I gotta put my cross. I love my cross, but I gotta put it away because it keeps hitting the microphone. But before I get started, I have an announcement. I told many of you guys I was going to go ahead and stream the football game tonight, Denver, Kansas City, but it occurred to me that the game is at the same time as the Phillies play. I'm not watching Denver get their butts kicked by Kansas City and missing my fighting Phils. It's not going to happen. I will be watching the Phillies game. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, don't stream the football game. Stream the Phillies. Well, I got a lot of scores, when it comes to that. I worry about getting copyrighted strike. I got struck last year, for those that don't know, streaming the Phillies, from which I did nothing wrong. It cost me the ability to stream 2 Eagles games. And what was so horrible about it was I appealed it, and eventually they removed it because there was no right for me to be copyrighted. But it still cost me 2 games, which was a decent amount of money, and it just ruined my whole Sunday and Thursday night. So I don't know if I'm going to stream it. If I do, it won't have the Phillies Braves thumbnail, and it won't have a scoreboard, and it's going to be very plain. So maybe if you see like a Philly 500 hangout or something like that, that's me streaming the baseball game, because I'm not taking any chances. I believe that I got caught up in a mass copyright strike by Major League Baseball last year, where they were just looking at thumbnails and copyrighted strike, because you see they always put all those games on where people are streaming the game illegally. So I think I got caught up in that. So I'm a little hesitant. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do it yet. But if I do, maybe it'll say, if you know, you know. And that'll mean I'm streaming the baseball game. It's just that people won't know I'm streaming the baseball game to come there. And then, I don't want to put it up as a football game because football people don't watch baseball. It's just all that stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, is what I'm saying. I'll figure it out. Any suggestions, please tell me. Now, I'm talking too much about that. Let's get into this, okay? So a few things we got to talk about today. First thing. Actually, let me get to this because this is non-Eagle related as of right now. But there are reports breaking today that the Pound Broncos are expected to trade Jerry Jeudy prior to the trade deadline. Multiple league sources tell Matt Lombardo. One high-ranking NFC personnel director says that his team has already held internal discussions about the possible deal for Jeudy. My guess is that's the Eagles. I'm just saying. No, I don't know who it is. But that's not a surprise. Jerry Jeudy was going to get traded. We've already talked about him in the last video, but it's something to keep in mind and watch out for. Now, as far as our birds go, we will have the pregame video tomorrow. But in practice today, so far, there was no Darius Slay, No Justin Evans at the start of the Eagles practice. Looks like they're missing another day. And then Marlon Tuipulotu, triceps returned. And Nakobe Dean foot is practicing for the second straight day. My guess with Nakobe Dean is I don't believe he plays this week. There's been so much talk about Nakobe Dean and should he play or should Morrow play. And I see that Eagle fans are really fighting over this. I like Nakobe Dean. I think Nakobe Dean is going to be a player. I do. But I also recognize that Morrow has been playing pretty good football. And I say there's no need to go throwing Nakobe Dean back in there right away, even if you want to use it and phrase it as you want to work him in slow. But Morrow has played pretty good. I think besides, not being able to catch a ball, he's done a pretty good job. And I think Nakobe Dean can do a good job too. I'm not a Nakobe Dean hater. I just recognize that Morrow has been pretty good, and I don't like to mess up a good thing. So bring Nakobe Dean, bring him back slowly, let him get adjusted, let him rotate in, and then you know what? He makes plays and stuff, and he earns it. Then you let him play more. The more snaps, the better he does on the field, the more snaps. If Morrow messes up, put him in. But no need to rush it. Work him back slowly. That's what I would say. And as far as Darius Slay goes, here's my thoughts on Darius Slay. I said much of it in the beginning, but Darius Slay, if he's got a bum knee, there is no way in hell I am going to put him out there versus the Jets. I think you can get away with it. Listen, I think Garrett Wilson is a great receiver, and I think he's the kind of guy that I would rather have Slay on than Bradbury. So I understand he's a good receiver, and they have some weapons. The issue to me is that the Jets can't get those guys the ball. I don't believe consistently they can get them the ball, and that's why if I'm Sean Desai, I'm playing Wilson very much like I played Stafford last week. I'm bringing my corners up. I am going to press. I am going to force the throws to be downfield throws down the field long at the sideline. I'm going to force those passes to be thrown by Zach Wilson and to be accurate, because I'm taking everything short and intermediate away, and I'm going to force them to have to make those throws. When they did that to Stafford in the second half, and they took the short intermediate stuff, and he had to hold the ball a little longer, you see the pass rush start to get home. Also, he had to hit throws that he missed. He missed a couple times. He missed another receiver, I forget exactly who it was, over the middle that would have been a touchdown. I think Zach Wilson. And I know he's been over 70% accurate. These cats are going crazy today. But he's been over 70%, I think, completion percentage the last 2 weeks. That's really, really good. But, and I haven't watched the Jets, but most likely they're probably very safe, short passes, things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that away from him, any short, any intermediate passes, and I am going to bring pressure. I think the Eagles' defensive line can feast on their offensive line. Now, I don't want to get too much into the game plan, but as far, basically what I'm saying is, I think you can survive 1 week without Darius Slay. I think you can. And then you get Darius Slay the following week for that showdown with Miami that is going to be a high-scoring game. Now, Devin Achane is going to be out. That's going to be a big blow for Miami. But I expect a high-scoring game, and you're going to need Darius Slay healthy. So, to me, I let Darius Slay rest this week. I don't think there's any need to play him. Let him rest. Let him get healthy for Miami. The Eagles can beat Miami the Eagles can beat the Jets without Darius Slay, and we'll talk about the game plan for both offense and defense tomorrow. Okay, so we've got some breaking news happening as I'm filming this video. How about that? My notifications just went off. Let's see what it says. Jeff McClain says, Pound Eagles have elevated Brandon Mann to the roster, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. They do that every week. But they also signed linebacker Brandon Smith to the practice squad. Now, Brandon Smith is an interesting player. If you guys remember, he was in the 2022 draft. 6'3", 250 pounds. Supposed to be an off-the-ball linebacker. Was with Penn State. I think he was drafted by the Carolina Panthers in the 4th round. And the Eagles definitely had him in for a visit at the time, leading up to the draft. He was one of the players that came in and visited. Got cut by the Panthers this year, but he was a 4th round pick in the 2022 draft. About 240, 250 pounds. This could be a sneaky signing if they think there's something about him that could develop. I think one of the big things that they said about him was they didn't know how good his instincts for football were. But you bring him in, you see if you could develop him. I don't dislike this move at all. Add a little more depth to the linebacker. What will he develop? What does he got it? I don't know. But it's an interesting pickup, I think, nonetheless. Now, one other thing I got to talk about. Now, I know we talked the last few days a lot about trades, but I got to talk about this trade scenario because I don't believe that any Eagle fan in the history of Eagle fans would ever dislike this trade. I think we all would like it, and would you like to know what it is? Would you like to know what it is? It is not Philly 500 trading chicken wings with Mark Holmes. It's not that. All right, this is a trade that was proposed by Bleacher Report for the Eagles, and I think it's an absolutely great idea, okay? Here's the trade. The Eagles send Derek Barnett. Yeah, celebrate good times. Come on. I like that already. They trade Derek Barnett to the Raiders for wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. Straight up. Done. I approve of this trade. I would do it in a second. I think it would help both teams out. Why isn't this trade already done? I think this is the best trade scenario that I have seen ever by Bleacher Report. Ever, though. It's the best I've ever seen by Bleacher Report. Yes, do this trade right away. The Eagles should jump on this and do it because Hunter Renfrow would be an upgrade for us at 3rd wide receiver spot. I don't think he's done much with the Raiders. I think he's got 6 catches all year. But what has Derek Barnett done for us? No sacks, not even any penalties. So, I like this trade. I would do it in a second. And what are your guys' opinions? Let me know in the comments section. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm doing tonight with the streaming the baseball game or not. Let me know what you guys think. I really need some advice on it because I'm not sure how to go about it. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision, baby. We're all just living in it. So I want you guys to meet Phantom. This is Phantom. You see, I call him Phantom like Phantom of the Opera because it's got like a whole mask of white on the side of its face. Very cute cat. Absolutely love it. What's going on? He likes to watch me play and likes to watch me record and all those good things. Here comes another one. We got all these different kitties all coming together. Come here. Come here. Come here. And here's another one. I got 3 of these. Anybody want a cat? This one right here is my girl. This is my princess. This cat loves me. And me and my wife are going to have a battle. I mean battle on whether I keep this cat or not. We already got too many cats, but this girl loves me. She's my princess. And I can't think about her with anybody else. It makes me sick. Right? You got to stay with me. She doesn't even try to get away. She just likes me holding her all day. Denzel Washington out.